Ran a little bit late, try to get some slides going. I wanted to show y'all some video of some of the past things we did, but it's all good. We're going to keep it going because I think we got a beautiful panel that will speak amazing things that they've done and will be all right. So again, this is the hashtag I Can Be a Hero, presented by CosLove, a charity that I run here locally in the area as well as across the United States to get people to come out and show support at schools and hospitals and also spread that cos-positivity, that CosLove. But before I get into the mission of what I do, I'm going to introduce my beautiful panelists right here. I love it right now. So let me start to my right with Alan, and then we'll just continue on with that.
Hi, I'm Alan Ryan. I've been cosplaying for about 10 years now, and I work professionally as a children's party detainer and a burlesque entertainer and so on and so forth.
My name is Eva Valentina. I've been cosplaying for 6 years. I just got out of military for about 3. Now I live in Virginia Beach, and I do a lot of volunteer work for Henry.
I go by Karanai Kiva on the interwebs. My first costume was Scary Spice, so that's kind of dating it. I like dressing up in weird stuff and having fun with kids because I usually have that one weird costume that one kid in the corner absolutely loves.
My name is Corey Morgan. You can find me on Facebook. My page is Straight Out of Cosplay. I've been cosplaying for about 2.5 years now. My first cosplay was Mr. Terrific. And I mean, I just love it. I do volunteer work whenever I can. I've done work with CosLove, with Make-A-Wish Foundation, and I mean, anybody who is more than 30, 35 years old knows what costumes looked like back on Halloween back in the day. I could go and do 15 minutes of stand-up comedy on that alone. But that is why. Oh my goodness, that is why I cosplay now, because I consider it revenge on the cosplay I used to have. So,
What you know about breathing in your own CO2?
oh my God. You have to live with it. That's how you know you want that candy. You're going to suffer for that.
The mask cutting you in the face.
All of that.
Shout out to my amazing panelists, each one of you. I appreciate you. Y'all know I love y'all. So thank y'all, and thank you all for coming out. I think this is beautiful. They're not in here right now, but this is a show I've always wanted to see as a person of color, as a nerd of color. So shout out to Hilton, because I'm throwing this video too. We're recording this, y'all. So shout out to Hilton, shout out to Haas. Happy to see this show and happy to see y'all, because a lot of times they say we don't do for ourselves and not for our community. So y'all are in here, y'all are heroes right now, because y'all are wanting to spread that love and be a hero. So in regards to that, who has always wanted to be a hero? Because that's what this is all about. I can be a hero. You know what I'm saying? We grew up on comic books, we grew up on these movies. We've always wanted to make a difference. And I gotta say, we had a great president once before, number 44, that always said, wanted to create change and you wanted to be the change you want to see in the world. And that's what really this CosLove mission is about. We don't have to be here, but we choose to be here because we want to make a difference in the world. And really, CosLove and all these other charity groups that are out there is just it's volunteering, but in costume, which is a lot more fun, I'd say. So it's really just taking action and volunteering. And for the genesis of CosLove, to just give you a little bit about us, that's what I had the slides for, so I wouldn't have to talk too much. But myself and my boy Wendell Smith, Brian Gregory, Harry Crossland, and a couple other folks I met while doing the convention circuit. I produced a lot of pop culture shows, as well as some other things outside around the area. And I used to write and publish comic books, and I've met a lot of these cosplayers that not only were in costume at shows, we're also giving back at schools and hospitals, but we really didn't have like an organized effect because there's groups like Star Wars where it's just Star Wars. There's groups like G.I. Joe where it's just G.I. Joe or whatever. But then there's also like the superhero camps that if you didn't make the costume yourself and adhere to these strict guidelines, we don't want you, which to me was kind of ill. If you want to dress up and give back, you should be able to do that. And so that's kind of where CosLove was born. I don't care if it's store-bought, if you made it yourself, as long as you were here for those kids and these families, come and show love, because that's what we're about. So that's kind of like what CosLove was born. And before I go into some other things that, how you can kind of give back if you're a cosplayer, actually, you know what, let me rewind. Who are cosplayers in here right now? Cool, I see you. Cool. I want to see y'all with us.
Divided the room.
I want to see y'all with us. Okay. Any organizers in here? Charities? Anything like that? Any charities or any programs out here? No? Okay, kind of. All right, I want to see you talk to because we're trying to, bring that mission out there. So thank you all for coming out. Hopefully we can give you some details on how you can, contribute back and give back. Let's go into like some events that we've done. I'm looking at my girl Brittany right here because there's an amazing event that she does with Jeppy's Entertainment called Little Heroes. Let's talk about Little Heroes a little bit.
Sure. Well, I work at a pop culture and comic book museum that's right downtown in Baltimore, known as Jeppy's Entertainment Museum. And every year we try to do this show called Little Heroes, where children go throughout the museum through obstacles that we've actually built to go and try and save the day, more or less. So for the first year, they went through obstacles to earn their badge and to become an official superhero and defeat villains that we had. And then the second year was when they went around and literally saved the city. And we're on our third year this year to go ahead and train their younger brothers and sisters. And every year we've always gone and asked, and I always reach out to Pat, or Pat reminds me, because I do too much, to go ahead and ask a whole bunch of different superheroes to come and help those kids out. And Alan actually comes out and helps as a princess as well for the Shire kids, which works out beautifully and really balances it out.
And Alan, let's talk a little bit. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna get back to you because I'm this specific down there. Corey, I know there's a lot of stuff with Heroes for Hope as well. Or you did some event recently. I know we did MWRCon together.
We did.
Recently. But another event you might have done that you want to talk
I did, with the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yes.
I did that. It was a young boy, he had an illness. I mean, he's still with us. I said had. I mean, it's just that it took place last year in the fall. And with the Make-A-Wish, you're all familiar with the Make-A-Wish program. When kids there's something that they want to do, and the foundation really tries to put that together for them. Well, this young boy loves superheroes, and he wanted to be, his wish was to be a superhero and to save people, to help people. And so they put together this whole day-long series of events that Kahim and his new superhero outfit would be doing to save the city. They had one thing where he saved Santa Claus off the big Ferris wheel at the National Harbor, and he was at the museum, and he was at, I think he saved some folks over at the baseball stadium, I'm not sure, but they had all sorts of stuff. And in the morning, they had asked several of the cosplayers locally if they could come out and be a part of the production. So myself and I know Lynn came out as Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Uncle Walt Oliver, who you've probably seen as Spider-Man. Walt is in his mid to late 60s and will come out, works at Howard University, and he is known to show up to work in his Spider-Man outfit.
Yes.
Walking into the laboratory dressed as Venom or something like that. These folks, we came out, it was cold, but we had a great time. And just seeing this little boy's face light up when these real superheroes were there for him was just the biggest thing in the world. It doesn't matter, you can be out there and it's cold, you ain't getting paid, and and people are pushing you or whatever. But when that kid walks up to you and says, "Are you real?" And somebody asked, "What do you say when they ask if you're real?" I said, "Touch my hand." He said, "Yes." Did your hand pass through me? He said, "No." I said, "So you felt my hand?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Then I'm as real as it gets."
Yes.
And that's all the answer they need. There's no better feeling than to have a purpose behind your cosplay. It's great to just be out here and we're taking pictures and we're having having fun. And events like this, like a family reunion for cosplay. You see people who've not seen on the internet, you know, just on Facebook. But when you're out there putting a purpose to it, you're actually living out the role of the characters that you're cosplaying in. You can't beat that.
Love, 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 love. I want to do a quick plug though, because I'm working with Make-A-Wish right now. If y'all know any Pokemon Go character cosplayers, I'm working with Make-A-Wish to, there's this young kid who wants to do a live action Pokemon Go out on the mall. So if you know any Pokemon Go cosplayers, I need them. We have a list of specific Pokemon characters we're looking for, but if you want to get with me, I can, you know, talk to you. I'd love to get some more people to make that wish happen.
Do you have the Snorlax that came to Katsucon and MagFest?
I saw that cosplayer. I don't have that person yet. I've been trying to get that information. If you know that person,
I don't know that, but I can look into it for you.
appreciate it. So any Pokemon, I'm looking for Pokemon characters. Tina, Allen, do you want to talk to maybe just like a past event that you've done that was fun and crazy and awesome? Real quick.
Yeah, you go first.
Yeah, me and Alan, we both have volunteered with Hope for Henry, which is a nonprofit organization that brings superheroes and princess parties to kids that are at Children's National Hospital or Georgetown MedStar Hospital. And then they also do Mount Sinai. Right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of a change of pace for these kids that are living in these hospitals, that are undergoing treatments and at such a young age, and for them to have superheroes visit them in their rooms, go to princess pamper parties where they can get their nails done, their makeup done, and get little goodie bags. It just really breaks the monotony of the day and makes all of that treatment worth doing, and keeps their spirits up. And it's seeing a kid that hasn't eaten or hasn't been him or herself, smile for the first time because their hero walks in the room. That just like, it melts your heart, and it really gives you a reason to be in costume, and just feel really fortunate to be a part of that.
Sure. 'Cause yeah, we've done that. Like we do a lot of like work with DC and in Baltimore. As before. Another event I did recently was the Little Heroes event up in Baltimore, which is usually a lot of fun. I've been doing it for about 2 years now, and while normally it's called Little Heroes, like I usually get called in as a princess character of some sort. I think the first year I did it, I was Alice in Wonderland, and the most recent year was Sleepy Beauty, because there are some kids that are a little bit shy about an event, and they're not really sure how to interact with superheroes, because some kids kind of hard when there's like a person in a mask or a full bodysuit. They get a little weirded out, just a little bit. Some kids are like that. Every child's different. But like a princess, they kind of like pick up pretty quickly. And I think the first year I did it as Alice was kind of fun because I didn't have to be dainty and proper. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Sure, I'll go with you for the obstacle course, and I'm gonna fail miserably. And it's okay to fail miserably and be really bad about it, and land on your tailbone or almost fall face first on something because you're an idiot, like me. But it was worth it, and they were like, oh, okay, well she's doing it, that means I can do it too. I'm like, yeah, totally, it can totally happen. And then we also got to get kids into the idea that, you know, we are being able to meet people for the first time, and that we're all making friends. It's like, I'll make friends with you, it'll be great. I don't know these people either, but I'd like to know them. They look like fun. And it's always polite to do that. So I enjoy the fact that I get to come in and have a different angle towards things and kind of do my own weird little thing, but it kind of works out in the end. So see what next year yields and who ends up showing up.
So we do a lot of, as for CosLove, we do a lot of community events. It's all about giving back, like I said. But beyond just, you know, the events and doing all that charitable stuff, our message is also about spreading CosLove, cos-positivity. That is a good thing. A lot of people talk about being the wrong size or being the wrong color to portray certain characters. I say F that, I'm sorry. You be who you want to be, dress how you want to dress. That's what it's all about. We should be able to embrace each other as nerds and not let racism come into that, mixture. So while I'm on that subject, my man who I love over here, Corey Morgan, I'm sure gets a lot of flack because a lot of people don't realize that Falcon is Captain America in the comic books. They just know from the movies.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about maybe that experience as being a black Captain America?
I usually have fun with it. Because you go what I'm finding out now, and is that growing up, I grew up in I'm 46 years old. We didn't have superhero movies like we didn't have superhero movies back in the day like we got now. If you knew something about superheroes, it's because you read comic books. So for me the be all and end all of superhero knowledge is whether you're reading what's going on in the comic. Now folks are watching the movies and they have no intention of reading the comic book. So if they know anything about superheroes from what they see in the movie, I go around. I've got my Captain America outfit, and this here is spot on like Sam Wilson Captain America in the comic book. But I get quite often people say, your costume is wrong. And I'm trying to figure, what did I miss? And because they know what Steve Rogers looks like on the movie, like, oh, okay, so you're the black version of Captain America. Oh, are you Falcon or Black Cap? Has he ever been called Black Cap? No, it's just Cap. How about that? Steve Rogers ever been called White Cap? And that's what I asked that, they're like, oh, exactly. It's just relax, it's okay. And read a comic book. It's all right. Just go ahead and pick something up. But yeah, I've gotten it. But generally speaking, I haven't gotten flack as much as other people have for cosplaying a character of a different race. Largely because all the cosplays that I have, if they're of an actual comic book character, have been they're actual black men. So my Mr. Terrific, my Falcons, my Captain America are all people who, generally, I say, I have like the face for every black comic book superhero. If I put the T on my face, you don't see the mustache or the beard, but I look exactly like Mr. Terrific. If I paint my mask on for Falcon or Sam Wilson's Captain America, look just like him. Which is great. Got that perfect head for it. You have to get rid of some of this gray I got going on. But it's not as heavy as folks who made cosplay as the actual Steve Rogers Captain America, but they're black or they're Latino or they're Asian or whatever. And people get hung up on the color of their skin and not just the fact that, hey, I'm just cosplaying the character. That's it. Cosplay is, but the second half of the word is play. If you are taking it that seriously, you are doing it wrong. And so, when I get those opportunities, those teachable moments, I try to jump into them without getting, judgmental or preachy or whatever, but in such a way that you still learn the lesson. I'll do one last example before, so I'm not blind all the time, but I'm also a face and body artist. I do face painting and body art a lot. And I was at I was at what's called the face painting jam. There's a whole lot of painters. We're painting different stuff. Some of us are teaching things. And there was, it's similar. It wasn't, in this case, it was just sort of like if a bunch of cosplayers were just in a room just chilling. But talking about cosplay. But yeah, like some of them like this panel. But we were painting and this lady looked over to me. It was a white lady and she said to me, "Do you have any flesh-colored paint?" So I handed her brown. Prepared for that question. Because I remember, the Crayola used to have the flesh-colored crayon, and contrary to what people think, Crayola actually corrected it on their own. Nobody had to tell them to fix it. They realized it and fixed it. So she said, "Do you have any flesh-colored paint?" I'm reading, and I'm like, I knew I was gonna get that. I immediately handed her brown, and she looked and started to correct me. Because that wasn't the color she wanted. And I just looked at her like, "Please, go ahead, say something." Go ahead, say something. And she caught like, "You're right, I'm sorry." And then I handed her the color I knew she was looking for. I said, "Is this what you're looking for?" She said, "Yes." I'm like, "There you go. Let's begin." There are teachable moments in just about everything. You don't have to hit them over the head with it. And oftentimes, the only thing they're gonna get is a concussion. But the lesson will not be learned. So we get it. You hear about it a lot as far as cosplayers go, and a lot of the key is how we react to it and whether or not we can, turn somebody's mind around or turn it on.
Anybody else want to talk about cos positivity being, race, sex, size issues?
What about age?
Age. Yeah. Like our
All the
man, I wish
cosplayers.
Walt was here.
Oh my God.
See,
yeah,
I'm
Walt
like
was
one of the
here.
oldest cosplayers around.
Y'all are beautiful.
Well, our friend Liam always says you
Yes.
can't do imaginary wrong.
Yeah.
You just can't play imaginary wrong at all. And he's right. And he's one of those, he's been cosplaying since time itself.
40 years.
He's here, and he's here today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
In one of his 8 million amazing cosplays. I don't even know what he's into.
He's
Whistler.
Whistler.
He's a West
Yeah.
Whistler. See, y'all knew about it already. See? But, and when it does come to race, because I know there are a lot of times you get that. I get, because I cosplay from a lot of anime.
Sure.
And normally they're just like, oh, they're not black, especially my tuxedo mask. I'm like, well, I don't have a dick either, so. Now we're right back to square one. It's literally what you want to do. If you like that character, you cosplay however you want to. If they're not paying your bills, they do not have an opinion on it. As simple as that.
I've had some experience with like different body types in cosplay, and one of my big cosplays is Star Sapphire, and she has like whole full frontal out titties. And my first experience wearing that was I'd have women come up to me and be like, "Wow, I can't wear anything like that. You look great." And I'm like, "Well, you could wear something like this." Because there are ways to make a costume work for your body type. And that's all it is. It's making the costume work for you. Because you can't do imaginary wrong. And, like, now, I'm a little sensitive about my belly. I don't want to have it all out now. I'll just make the window a little bit smaller. Show off the good part. And that's just what it is. You have creative freedom to do whatever you want in your costume.
Do you get ignorance when you're dressed up as a princess?
Where do I? So yeah, I do get a lot of that. Sometimes, like, I think at one point it was skin. It's like, well, you're not the right skin color. It's more of like a lighter peach color. It's like, look, if Christian Louboutin can make 6 different shades of nude pumps, I feel like the world can handle. And it's like, also, like, I got this one woman in particular who was just really angry and decided that today was her day. And so she came rolling down the hill, and she was just like screaming it down on me on Facebook about like, oh, you're terrible, blah, blah, blah. So like, I used to be a princess, but I stopped being a princess because I gained too much weight, blah, 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 blah. But you shouldn't do it anyways because you're not the right race, blah, blah, blah. I was like, where do I begin? I was like, well, here's what I can say to you. Just like, I mean, granted, yes, we all have our opinions, but I like to keep my opinions in check, much like my weight. And I was just like, and yes, I'll continue to keep doing all those gigs. Regardless, and with all that money, I'm gonna buy the Louboutin pumps that you only wish you would have. It's like, so yes, you could walk a mile in my shoes, but then you'll owe me like $3,000. It's just like, so, have fun over there. The ice cream's that way. So like, I've learned over the years, like, I'm not exactly what one calls like super lovable, cuddly friendly. I don't really try sometimes. I work with a lot of drag queens as well on my off time. So over the years, I've kind of gotten a little bit snarky and cynical about it, but like I still believe in the same things being positive, whatever. But I've just learned to get creative in my responses and just be like,
So you know
it's like,
throw shade.
Yeah, you have to get witty for them, or else they
it's
keep
just
coming
like,
after
so
you.
like I do have those teachable moments, but they usually come with like a healthy dose of sarcasm and cynicism.
Because without it, it would
Well,
get
yeah, I mean, if you're gonna come at somebody just blatantly disrespectful, yeah, it's still gonna be a teachable moment.
There you go.
But you know, it might be a carrot and a stick, but you know, it's just gonna be because the carrot is tied to the stick that I hit you. You know, yeah, you get the bonus, it's a bonus plan. Yeah, you come at it respectfully, like maybe you're asking, do you think there's something wrong with the fact that you're this race, whatever? Then I'm going to say no because this. But if you just say you can't do that because you're black, like I did it, and I've been doing it for 3 years, and the world has not stopped spinning. Guess what? I can do it. It's, you know, it's how it is. Change your way you're thinking. So yeah, you know, shade can come in various forms. Sometimes it comes with a sharp edge.
I supplied in like boxes, like U-Haul boxes, like, and that's the thing. Like, I found that with my career, like, I get people from all over the field. I get a lot of angry women, and just like I don't know what it is. I've given up trying to figure it out, but what worries me is not about them, it's about the kids.
Yeah.
Like I did an event once at Sleeping Beauty, and these two moms, I don't know what their deal was, but they're just like, oh, she's wearing too much makeup. Oh, she's too skinny, that's bad for her. That's gonna make the kids think that they have to be skinny. She looks like a whore, blah, 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 blah. It's just like, and like, the kids are like right in earshot too. I'm just like, lady, are you freaking serious? And then like, she's like, oh, well, like, no one's gonna want to marry her, like, after she like has kids and gains all that weight and she can't wear like skinny dresses anymore. It's like, jeez, and I just like feel like the kids hugging tighter on me. I'm just like, it's just like, you probably get this a lot. You need this hug.
They're probably mouthing help me.
It's just like, hug it on out. It's just like, and just let me know your name and whatever. I'm gonna go call some CPS services. It's gonna be okay. I got you covered. And I'm just like walking. I'm just like really awkward. And the ladies give me like this look, like, oh, everything's great. Just like, I'm calling CPS. Anyone else? Alright.
Awesome. Thank you all for contributing those information. So basically, we kind of talked about events we've done. We've talked about spreading CosLove, cos-positivity. Now I want to talk about taking it into action, because really, that's what I need all of y'all to get and do. And we'd love to have you with us. It's just take those steps to just, you know, you're dressing up in costume. Now let's go entertain some kids. Let's, you know, make some families happy. Taking it into action. So I want to talk about some upcoming events we all have coming up, and also any feedback or anything that you guys, if you have questions, throw it up in the air so we can kind of, you know, help you out with that as well. So I'm sure for all these people, they've seen my posts, because I'm a promoter like a mug of different things I got going on. But I want to let them go first before I talk about some of the stuff that we as CosLove have going on. So
What's on the schedule?
yeah, what you got coming up? That you
At the moment, as far as community service events go, I don't have anything that's on the schedule yet. I'm always, you know, I'm always looking to see what Pat's got coming up, and I wind up usually getting tagged into events as they happen. There's nothing nothing I like better than getting out there and doing this work. Right now, I personally don't have anything on the schedule, but I mean, as stuff comes up,
I'm bringing you up there.
all I have to do is be available. If I'm not face painting that weekend, or I know far enough advance, I can rope it off, and you know I'm coming. We're doing it.
I actually don't have any planned as well either. Little Heroes is done for the year. I'm done.
That's your big major event.
That's my big major event. I'm literally like wrapping brick boxes in the back of my office so they can smash a giant Hulk wall. I'm done. So I was like, whatever you got, just let me know. Because I saw you were like, Pokemon Go. So just let me know. I'm ready to go.
I currently don't have anything on the schedule either. I normally do Hope for Henry around Halloween. They have a big Halloween bash.
Okay.
Me and my husband usually travel up for it to volunteer costume. So I think that would be pretty much the next one for me.
You said it's usually around Halloween.
In terms of events, I don't have anything. The only thing I have that's related on the schedule is August 19th. I'm hosting up in Baltimore at Grand Central Nightclub, Cospop, a night of cosplay and pop culture fun, which is a night. It's an event that's going on. It's like a mini convention / a get together that I'm trying to host. But the idea is that it's supposed to be inclusive for everybody, so it doesn't matter gender, orientation, sexual orientation, ethnicity, whatever. And then we're trying to do a thing with the costume contest, which is all inclusive. It doesn't matter, like literally, it doesn't matter where you got your costume. Like you could have like got together with like paper plates from your house like 5 minutes ago. We don't care. If you're like, I like my costume, I feel great in it. Like we're gonna have a costume contest for that. We're trying to get community involved with like raffles and organizations, and we're just trying to like make a fun get together for people in the community to kind of feel free to be themselves and meet other new like-minded people and hope from there start to see friendships and whatever. So it's a new thing that we're trying at Grand Central to try to make it happen. And you know, we already launched ticket sales, and it's like $10 right now per person, but that goes towards like all this ridiculous nonsense that we're doing. So
I'm trying to get involved. So what I do here though is all these people are available, so I'm gonna be bugging them because I didn't want to talk too much and just keep Mr. Promo over here. So y'all available, right? Wow. So where should I start first? So the Make-A-Wish thing, there's no date set for that. For the Pokemon Go wish, it's basically as soon as we get all those characters that they look or requesting, we're gonna put that together. And I just got 5 minutes. Back to School Brigade. I'm working with Operation Homefront. They're a military charity that supports our wounded warriors and those that are in the hospital, you know, waiting to get all healed up. Back to School Brigade for the 2017 to 2018 campaign in all 50 states, which I'm having to organize because I don't know cosplayers in every state right now, so I'm having to get on Facebook and try to network with different people. Okay, I'm in. We're basically doing these events where they're giving bags full of school supplies to our military families to start off the school year, and we're trying to organize cosplayers to dress up in costumes to hand out the bags. So we can, you know, say, hey, you're the real superhero for going to school and, you know, getting the work done where it needs to be done. And just to make it a lot more entertaining for these kids is having these cosplayers out there. So I'm organizing that in all 50 states. We have 2 coming up in our area, and I think in Alexandria, I think one at Andrews Air Force Base that I think you all saw for Maryland. So I think there's 2 in Maryland, 1 in Virginia. But again, it's going to be all over that I'm putting together. A bunch of costume contests that we do. I do a lot with Tina. We have Hampton coming up, where we're going to rep there. I'm going to hopefully be bringing this panel to some other shows. I know I'm missing a lot. VA Comic-Con. Oh yeah, I have that next week. Next weekend, Saturday, Sunday, I'll be representing there, doing the costume contest, and also doing a panel on diversity in comics and media. So come check that out. But really, you know, if there's anything that you know and have, you know, please let us know. We'd love to do it. But again, for you guys, the message I'm going to put out is, again, hashtag I can be a hero. You can be a hero. Work with it for those parents out there, PTA. Do something for your kid's school program. Like I go and I dressed up as Spider-Man for my daughter's school. I'm trying to bring Tyler out there to do his flips. He's actually done a school event with me along with Harry, dressed up as Deadpool. These kids love it. You know, go and entertain at these schools and you know, PTA programs. Do some anti-bullying stuff because that is a very important message. My daughter was being affected by some bullying here and there, and I was like, nah, we ain't gonna have that. So I brought some of my people out. We came and talked to these kids and talked to these schools to just like, no, that's not called for. We can't have that. But there's just so many avenues to give back. And actually, this past week that I was working on, some people let me know about this child named Zoe. Hashtag Team Zoe. She suffers from DIPG, which has taken away her ability to walk and the use of her arm. So I reached out to a lot of these people here to say, hey, let's make a little video. And actually, since we have less than 5 minutes, I actually want to make a little video to attach to the video that I'm doing for Zoe right after we get done. So stay here. I want to include y'all to our contribute video. Basically, I was reaching out to players, to cosplayers to say, hey, I just need a minute of your time to just say on your smartphone, hey Zoe, you know, we support you, we love you, keep up the fight. Because, you know, just that little bit of a message, just, you know, that word of encouragement goes a long way, I think, for all of us. You know, so if we can do that as a cosplayer, if you can't make it to an event, I understand. But just a simple, hey, hi, hello, you know, write a little email, send a picture of yourself, throw up a heart, show your love to anybody, goes a long way. So let's do that real quick. You know, since we have less than 5 minutes, but I appreciate y'all. Thank you all for coming out. Let's just make a little quick video to just say, hey, Zoe, we love you.
All right.
Recording now.
All right, cool. You got us all?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Hey, Zoe. This is Patrick with CosLove and all of my amazing superhero friends here at BlerDCon. We just want to let you know that we're thinking about you. We support you. We love you. Keep up the fight. I know it can be hard, but you have a lot of people that are supporting you and that are with you. So what do we want to say, y'all? We love you, Zoe.